We're talking with R.J.Swift about the making of the Blue Orb. R.J., the scenes of the lava lamp, the lava room, basically inside the kettle, the actual generator of Professor Quigley's laboratory. The set there was amazing. Tell us a little bit about what you tried to do with that. Well, we spent a lot of time with the Raven trying to get into Professor Quigley's laboratory, and so it became a question of, at some point we had to get in. And so what would it look like when you really got in? What is Professor Quigley seeing? What is he studying? And what's really going on? What is his actual scientific experiment? And it seems that perhaps he's dealing with some sort of really potent energy that requires lots of temperature, perhaps atomic, but it's enough to have brought the outer greater universe's attention, because nothing is in a void. And that's kind of the story here. And the Raven is a multiverse character that is here to try to make sure Quigley doesn't blow up the quadrant. We're not trying to be judgmental, but the story was intended to show what happens when perhaps your curiosity gets the best of you, and how Quigley was just caught up in the experiment and became oblivious to the effects it might have. He's not unusual about that. Sometimes it might just be a sales manager that's obsessed with achieving a certain goal and forgets the effect on the family and such. But I'm sure you can relate it to your own stuff. But this was a very difficult set to put together, because what we wanted to achieve was, after we got into the laboratory, we wanted to get the idea of heat and energy. I mean, we felt like the set did a good job of providing that myriad details, and the set was actually quite amazing. But we were able to portray the idea of heat, as mysticism, and of course, as always in the show, spirit and the heart should always prevail. And wisdom is employed, it must be employed to learn. You must learn to use your knowledge wisely. And I guess the question was Professor Quigley a very wise man? He was a likable man, but perhaps he was too caught up in his own little world, just like many of us are. And wisdom sometimes betrays us, or at least avoids our obvious discernment. And so the show, the Blue Orb, was pretty much about us, about people. Because the Blue Orb is basically what the Earth is, just a blue orb. We all have our blue orbs. It might be your little house in the subdivision. It might be your corner office. The blue orb is what you work for and cherish. And everyone has their own version of the blue orb. And the Raven, as the character, was absolutely delightful, because I had my background in radio theater. It was really fun to do that, but radio theater is kind of hard to do anymore. So what we're trying to do here is do the best of radio theater and the best of special effects that we can achieve, and also some good storytelling doesn't hurt.